Weeks ticked by, turning into a month, then another. The rhythm of Amara's life settled into a quiet routine, punctuated by the silent prayers that had become her lifeline. The opulent halls of her home, once a playground, now felt more like a beautiful gilded cage. Her father, bless his heart, had tried everything. The finest physicians, the most exotic treatments. They all came and went, leaving behind only echoes of their failed promises and a growing pile of bills. The maids treated her with a mixture of pity and reverence, their whispers following her like a shadow. "Poor child," they'd murmur. "Such a burden for the master." But Amara didn't see herself as a burden. She was on a journey, a pilgrimage of the soul, and her room was her monastery. One morning, the sun cast long, golden fingers across her chambers. The household was preparing for morning prayer, a daily ritual. But today, Amara felt a different kind of pull, a quiet insistence in her spirit. "Please," she said to the maids who were bustling around her, "could you leave me alone for a little while? I need to pray by myself today." They exchanged confused glances but obeyed, closing the heavy oak door softly behind them. The silence that descended was profound, broken only by the distant song of a bird outside her window. Amara closed her eyes, her heart a drumbeat in the quiet room. She wasn't going to plead or bargain anymore. The desperation had washed away, leaving a calm, clear certainty in its place. She took a slow, deep breath, not addressing the heavens with a loud cry, but whispering into the space right in front of her, as if speaking to a friend sitting beside her. "God," she began, her voice barely audible, a fragile thread of sound. "I'm not here to ask for anything grand. I'm not asking you to make me rich or famous or even to make me normal again." A single tear traced a path down her cheek. "All those things, they don't matter anymore. I just want one thing. I just want to be able to walk toward you." The words hung in the air, simple and pure. It wasn't about walking out the door or through a field of flowers. It was about closing the distance between her soul and its maker. It was a prayer of pure devotion. As she finished speaking, a tremor started in her fingertips, a vibration that felt both foreign and familiar. It spread up her arms, causing her whole body to shiver, not from cold but from an energy that was crackling just beneath her skin. She kept her eyes closed, her breath catching in her throat. What was happening? Was this fear? Was this hope? It felt like both at once. Her fingers, which had been clasped tightly in her lap, trembled uncontrollably. The sensation was overwhelming, a powerful current surging through every part of her. She held on, not to her chair, but to the prayer she had just uttered, clinging to it like a life raft in a stormy sea. Then it happened. A feeling she hadn't experienced in years, a sensation so long forgotten it felt like a dream. Warmth. It started in her toes, a gentle, insistent heat, like stepping into a sunbeam. But this wasn't external. It was coming from within. The warmth blossomed, flooding up through her ankles, her calves, her knees. It felt like life itself, pouring back into limbs that had been cold and still for so long. It was like watching the first sunrise after an endless, starless night, a slow, glorious dawn breaking inside her. The shivers subsided, replaced by this profound, healing heat that seemed to melt away the years of stillness. It was a fire, not of destruction, but of creation. Instinct took over. Hope, wild and untamed, surged through her. Amara opened her eyes. The room was the same, the sunlight still streaming through the window. But everything felt different, charged with possibility. Slowly, cautiously, she placed her hands on the arms of her wheelchair. She pushed. Her legs, which had been unresponsive for what felt like a lifetime, tensed. There was strength there, real, solid strength. She pushed harder, her heart pounding against her ribs like a trapped bird. And then she was standing. Unsteady, yes. Trembling, absolutely. But standing. On her own 2 feet. She looked down at the legs that were holding her up, and a sound escaped her lips, a gasp, a laugh, a sob, all tangled together. The door creaked open. The maids, wondering about the prolonged silence, peered in. Their morning duties could wait no longer. What they saw made them freeze. Their trays clattered to the floor, porcelain shattering on the marble. One of them let out a piercing scream that echoed through the entire mansion. The other simply stood, hand clapped over her mouth, her eyes wide with disbelief. The commotion brought Amara's father running. He burst into the room, his face a mask of concern, and then his jaw went slack. He saw his daughter, his beautiful, broken daughter, standing. The sight was too much. His eyes rolled back, and he fainted, collapsing in a heap on the floor. But Amara barely noticed the chaos erupting around her, the screams, the shattered plates, her father's collapse. It was all background noise. Her entire world had narrowed to this single miraculous moment. Tears were streaming down her face now, but they weren't tears of sadness. They were tears of overwhelming, explosive joy. She laughed through the tears, a sound of pure, unadulterated elation that filled the room. She looked up at the ceiling, at the sky, at the face of the God she had just spoken to. "He did it," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion, but ringing with absolute conviction. He really, really did it. In that moment, she was not just standing, she was soaring. This story is a powerful reminder that sometimes the most profound miracles happen not when we demand them, but when we simply ask to move closer to the light. It's about the strength found in surrender and the incredible power of faith. If Amara's journey has touched your heart, please share this video with someone who might need a little hope today. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories that inspire and uplift. Thank you for being here with us. We'll see you in the next one.